I think I will end up working on a completely different project in the future where I just completely revamp like the island shape it generates because I have done some experimentation with that. But that's for a future project.
So yeah, it's been a while, and I did eventually reinvent the floating islands in my own vision. Whenever I think of floating islands, I always think of those like bowl or cone-shaped islands with rivers, hills, mountains, caves, etc. Before I even started messing with WorldGen, this has pretty much been my vision for floating islands. I mean, I first looked into custom WorldGen because I honestly thought that this is what the vanilla floating islands would be like. Now, the default floating islands didn't disappoint me when I figured out how to get them back. Link in the description for my data pack that does this, by the way. But I always felt like it didn't match my perception of what the floating island should be. So eventually I made this. Ethereal Islands, my newest data pack that completely overhauls Floating Islands world generation. But just using 3D noise like Minecraft does for its floating islands, none of this is possible. So I pretty much just used my knowledge of terrain generation to create this from scratch rather than tweaking the vanilla version. Like I said at the start, this has mountains, caves, rivers, and even ocean bowls. These are partially inspired by Super Mario Galaxy, and even mushroom islands generate on top of them as well. Oceans are actually kind of challenging to make work in a floating island setting. Normally they're just based on a global sea level, but obviously you can't have this in the sky or the world would just be flooded. So this is my solution. However, I've also made another data pack that adds in the islands, except instead of being over the void, it's over an infinite ocean with all the biomes. Unlike normal ocean biomes too, deep dark and dripstone cave biomes spawn beneath them, so you still have the same caving experience as a normal world, link in the description. Now, something you may have noticed is that some of the structures are spawning in the void. This is just an issue with vanilla, as it wasn't designed to support floating islands. However, if you want to fix this, I've made a mod that stops structures from generating in the void. This is also in the description. Sorry, I just make way too much stuff. It's completely optional, but it really improves the experience of floating island world generation types. This is also made possible partially due to it being commissioned by MS Fortune, who is in the description as well. Coincidentally, he wanted to have a style of floating islands for a modded SMP that happened to align very closely to what I wanted to make at the time. Without that, I don't know if I would have had the motivation and dedication to dive as deeply into this project as I did, and for that I'm very grateful. So here it is. This is the project that I'm most proud of and I was glad I was able to finish. But I realized I never even made a video on it, so I'll be posting more WorldGen projects and other fun videos in the future, so stay tuned. If you don't know how to install a data pack, all you do is go to create a new world, go to more, data packs, open pack folder. Then your world's data pack folder should open. Paste in the data pack, which should be a .zip file, into the folder, and then go back into Minecraft. You should see the data pack pop up on the left side of the screen. Click it, and then hit done. Then create your new world. I've also made mod versions of the data packs as well, just for convenience.